I think in the last class we have seen about the introduction of microorganisms. Now we'll enter into the real topic of the microorganisms. Okay. So as I said, there are different types of microorganisms like algae, profuba. I have explained about in the last class about algae, profuba, that is algae, fungi, virus, bacteria, and protozoa. Okay. Come to the next slide. So bacteria, singular, we can call it as bacterium. So bacteria can be of different shapes. Rod shape called bacilli. Rod shape called bacilli. Okay. Spherical shaped bacteria called cocci. Spiral shaped called Pyrilla. Okay. Rod shaped called bacilli. Spherical shaped called cocci. Spiral shaped called Spirilla. And one more bacteria is there, that is comma shaped bacteria, that is called cholera. Cholera. Okay, like it will be like this. So if it is taking this example that is coming to the picture, the circular, or we can say that it's a spherical, or we can say that it's a oval. Okay, all are same thing only. If it exists in pairs, that is called diplococcus. Suppose if that coccus exists in chains, that is called streptococcus. Streptococcus. If it is a that is the coccal shaped bacteria is arranged in a group or in a bunch, like bunch of grapes, that is called staphylococcus. Okay, next coming to the rod shaped. In the rod shaped bacteria, we can say that coccobacilli. That is, it will be a rod and also put together it is a round shape also. So that is the mixing of rod shape and the oval shape. That is called coccobacilli. Next, streptobacilli. The same way here. What do you mean rod shape? Rod shape means this is the rod shape, like this, the small rectangle shape. Then mycobacteria. Okay, so these are the examples for rod shape bacteria. Then if it is a curved form, that is called Spirilla. Curved form, I already told you, comma shape bacteria, that is called the curved form. Okay, that is called cholera, or we can, that is the species name is cholera, the genus name is Vibrio. You will be learning about generic name and species name, about that is how to name the organism. That is about how to name the organism, or we can call it as the nomenclature. So that you will be learning in 9th standard. Okay. Next, Pyrilla, that is spiral shaped bacteria. Next, spirochete, that is also a spiral shaped bacteria. Spirochete. Okay. Other shapes of bacteria, helical shape is Helicobacter, and then club shape is Cornybacter, and then this is Streptomyces. This is not a shape, it will be like mildy cotton growth, it will be like that. Okay, so once more I'll be read only the name of the bacteria, which is difficult for you. Streptococcus, that is Streptococcus, Staphylococcus, Streptobacilli, Mycobacteria, Coccobacilli, Vibrio, Spirilla, Spirochete, Helicobacter, Cornybacter, Streptomyces. So these are all about the different shapes of the bacteria. Next, coming about the algae, singular, we can call it as alga. And before that, the study of bacterium is called bacteriology. This I have already told you in the previous class itself. And what are the characteristics of algae? Algae are eukaryotic organism. Again, this prokaryotic and eukaryote you will be learning in the 8th chapter clearly. Okay, now coming to, so you just forget about this point now. Coming to the mostly photosynthetic, they are almost marine, very few are freshwater, and it may be unicellular or multicellular. Algae reproduce either by vegetative, asexual, or sexual methods. Example, Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas. This is a unicellular algae. Once more, I'll read and show you. Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra, Fucus, Laminaria. Okay, these are all some of the examples of algae. Spirogyra, Chlamydomonas, Fucus, Laminaria. The next one, protozoa, singular, protozoan. Okay, what are the characteristics of protozoa? Means it is a unicellular organism. That is, single cell performs all the function, and organisms that have animal-like characteristics, and these are also eukaryotic organisms, and they can move from one place to another. Then some protozoa live in fresh water or salty water, while others also live in the soil. Okay, and the study of protozoa is called protozoology. Next, coming to fungi, singular fungus. What are the characteristics of fungi? It is a plant-like organisms that do not contain chlorophyll, but it may be unicellular or multicellular. They grow in wet, dark, warm, and moist places. See, we can see the bread. We could have seen this, like this kind of like black mold. Also, it has come in the black color sponge growth. Spongy growth is also come in the bread in sometimes. Am I right? So that is also, that indicates the fungal growth. Okay, if we are seeing the bread, if you are if we buy bread after several days, it will be good for only 3 days approximately. After that, if it is not a good one, okay, based on it, easily it will be infected with the fungi, so that you can see this greenish color, or sometimes it is a blackish color also. So that is an infected food. And like these many kinds of that is colors also seen in the coconut also. Next, viruses. Coming to singular, virus. What are the characteristics of viruses? It can replicate only by infecting a host cell, and it cannot produce on their own. As I already told you, what do you mean by host cell? That is living cell. It cannot reproduce on their own. So they infect a wide variety of organisms, including both prokaryotic and eukaryotes. Okay, and these viruses are also strictly called as intracellular obligate parasites. Why means intracellular, within the body. Okay, obligate, strictly it will live only within the body. Parasites, what are the parasites? Organisms which depend upon only the other living organism. So that is called a host cell. Okay, so it needs living organisms, that is, it needs living organism for their survival, and that too it will live only inside the living organism, not outside the living organism. So that is a speciality of the viruses. So only these viruses are also called as intracellular obligate parasites. Okay, so now that's all about the characteristics of microorganisms. As I already told you in the first class, we have discussed about the microorganisms, different types, and then who discovered, and we have seen about the some of the scientists also regarding Louis Pasteur and Anton von Leeuwenhoek, and I gave some information also. Am I right? So this class, today's class, we have seen about the characteristics of the microorganisms. Okay, so the next class we'll see about the useful and harmful microorganisms. Thank you.